This just in, the video Sleep When You're Dead has been posted to Netflix. And here to break it down for us is our Buddhism consultant. Steve, over to you. Oh, hey there, Chet. Didn't see you there. I was just practicing. Yeah, this is big news for all of us over here, and we're thoroughly analyzing it in a Buddhist perspective. First, let me break down the video. The video Sleep When You're Dead interviews several students at Georgetown University and asks them what clubs they're involved in and about the busyness culture that they find there. It asks them about the culture, what they think some problems are with the culture, how it impacts the student body, and the best ways to fix it. The video sees responses from students involved in a wide range of clubs and juxtaposes this with a transfer student who is only involved in one club. The consensus of the video is that students are too busy because they feel a need to be that way. Students are judged at Georgetown for not being in multitudes of other clubs, and this judgment transpires into a personal fear of being judged if you're not involved in many other clubs. This culture of high activity leads to high levels of stress, lack of sleep, and a variety of other mental and physical health concerns for students. If the Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh saw this video, he would have a lot to say. Now, Chet, you know me, and I could talk for days, but the station has asked me to only go over 3 things that I think he would have to say about this, so we'll keep it brief. 1. The video opens with a speech by Georgetown President John J. De Hoya stating that at Georgetown, there's an expectation of, quote, a certain kind of student who commits their life to the very best you can do in a university, end quote. President De Hoya, a Georgetown alumnus, knows full well about the presence, pressures, and consequences of the busyness culture because he has lived through it himself. Whether or not the statement was made in direct reference to the school's culture, the video contorts it to seem that De Hoya believes that the culture at Georgetown is, quote, the very best you could do at a university. Hanh would pause the video right here and scream. In Buddhism, there are 3 doors of liberation: emptiness, signlessness, and aimlessness. When we enter these doors, we dwell in concentration and are liberated from fear, confusion, and sadness. Hanh would have a problem with the implications of President De Hoya's statement because of Han's personal teachings and beliefs regarding the second door, signlessness. A sign, according to Hanh, is an appearance, or how something looks to you. When water is ice, its sign is solid. When it is making a tea kettle sing, its sign is gaseous. Scientists call water dihydrogen monoxide. Hydroelectric power plant managers call water electricity or money. In all these situations, the water hasn't changed, but the way it appears to us has. Signlessness is the ability to release oneself from the deceptions and illusions of signs. Looking beyond merely the appearance of water shows to us that the water is truly made of non-water elements, the sun, the earth, or the flower. Signs hold us back from the wondrous nature of reality. Hanh applies this same concept to children. He says that when we look at our children, we must see more than just them and look to what produced them if we want to understand how they are. The economy, society, their parents, the environment they were raised in. They are the way they are because of the way we are. If we ever want to truly transform our world, we must transform the elements that produce our children. And what element is as big and rigid in a child's life as school? Hanh argues that in school, children learn skills that will help them make a living, but not ones that will help them live. We don't teach children how to deal with anger, how to reconcile conflicts, how to breathe, smile, and transform internal formations. We teach students math, English, science. Hanh sees the primary objectives of schools to be training our students in the art of living in peace and harmony. De Hoya's comment that Georgetown's busyness culture is, quote, the very best you can do in a university, end quote, completely disregards what Hanh believes to be the function of schools. Busyness leads to productivity, but it never leads to fulfillment. 2. About 5 minutes and 40 seconds into the video, one of the students interviewed makes the claim that students who are not busy and overly involved are judged by the stressed out and sleepless students because those students are jealous of the laid back students because their minds don't let them do nothing. While surely a testament to the productivity of some Hoyas, Hanh would definitely disapprove of this sentiment because allowing your mind to do nothing is pivotal to achieving nirvana, the extinction of all notions, the way to pacify suffering, and the ultimate achievable goal of Buddhism. Buddhism consists of 4 noble truths. There is suffering and we all suffer. Suffering is caused by our dislike of the reality that things are always changing. Suffering can end, and the Eightfold Path is the way to end suffering. Nirvana as a concept exists as the 3rd noble truth, and this is where Hanh would cringe at someone judging someone else for allowing their mind to do nothing. Shortly before the Buddha's death, he said, "Complete silence is joy." This complete silence is the end of thinking, conceptualizing, and speaking. This fully embodies a mind that can do nothing. This is the 3rd noble truth in absolute terms, according to Hanh. I don't think that this student is annoyed with someone for achieving nirvana per se, but the idea of allowing your mind to be at peace is just one step, and ridiculing that would definitely sting to Hanh. It should be a goal for students to find internal peace. The girl even says that she thinks the students who are more laid back look healthier and happier. Hanh would respond to this part of the video by praising the students who are allowing their minds to do nothing, for being further along the path to reducing their own suffering and finding out more about themselves internally. He would emphasize that more students at Georgetown should study the 4 noble truths of Buddhism so they can understand the benefits of having a mind that can do nothing. 3. At about 8 minutes into the video, a student says, "You must also take time for yourself, whether that be 30 minutes or 2 hours, to allow yourself to rejuvenate and be the best Hoya you can be." A little bit earlier in the video, another student says, "You're going and going and going, and you never have the recovery period. You're damaging your brain and your body." Hanh would respond to this by saying that these students need to practice meditation, specifically Buddhist meditation, because it strengthens their ability to practice right mindfulness. Right mindfulness is at the heart of the Buddhist teachings. Mindfulness is the ability to live in the present. It comprises 7 different miracles that force you to be present, consider others, look and understand deeply, and personally transform. The miracles of mindfulness come from meditation. Mindfulness emphasizes focusing on the moment you are in and cherishing its beauty and wonder. Nothing is more precious than being present in the moment, fully alive and fully aware. Mindfulness ties in with meditation because it is fundamental to practice stopping, something needed to truly perform Buddhist meditation. This meditation would be very helpful for students because it would force them to focus on mindfulness and stopping, disconnecting with everything they are doing and truly being with themselves. One can use the energy from mindfulness to disregard everything that takes you away, physically and mentally, from the present moment, and allow you to just be present. Hanh would argue that we also need to learn calming and resting to start healing from our meditation. Hanh uses an oak tree to describe calming. We are solid, stable, and not blown side to side by the storm. Our activities and emotions do not control us. We control them. Resting is the hardest part, Hanh says. We must teach ourselves to rest so that we can allow everything else to pass by and begin our process of healing. Hanh would argue that if students could practice this kind of meditation and mindfulness, they would be able to take impactful breaks from their busy lives and allow themselves to truly heal, helping both their mind and their body. Well, those are my 3 points, and that's all I have to say. This was my analysis. Wow, thank you so much for that analysis. From a summative standpoint, it seemed like Thich Nhat Hanh would not respond very kindly to the video "Sleep While You're Dead." He would raise certain objections for how the president views the school and its role in life. He would urge that schools should teach students how to live and not just how to make a living. Additionally, he would be upset with the judgment that students cast on other students for allowing their brains to do nothing and their mind to be at peace. He would urge students to read more about the 4 noble truths of Buddhism and understand how they can help them reduce suffering and live happier and healthier lives. Lastly, Hanh would urge students to practice meditation and understand right mindfulness so that they can be present in all aspects of their day and in their life and just lead better, more mindful, impactful lives. And from all of us here at News, I'm Chet.